Hello, and welcome to the 39th Annual Shakespeare Competition, sponsored by the English-speaking Union-Sandhills branch. My name is Andrea Burns. This is my second year doing this event, but my first year doing it live, and I might say I'm just glad to be live. I would primarily like to thank the Village Chapel, Reverend Jacobs, and the parishioners of the chapel for allowing us to have this beautiful venue. I don't know if they're responsible for the weather, but it is a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful place to be to watch these young performers today. The performers today will be chosen. We will be choosing one winner today, which will go on to a national semifinal competition in which they will compete against approximately 55 other branches across the country for an ultimate opportunity to go as a finalist to New York City to perform at the Lincoln Center as a finalist to be determined sometime in April. Today we have 11 performers from Pinecrest, Stars, and the O'Neill School. And I'd like to take a moment to thank their teachers, advisors for guiding them through this. Yes, I'd like to introduce Judy Osborne from O'Neill. Judy. Adam Faw from Pinecrest. And Kara Strong from Stars. And also from Stars was Caitlin Lick, and she had another engagement, so she tag-teamed with Kana Strong. So thank you very much for supporting the arts, supporting your students, and for being here today. It's so important. I'd also like to introduce our judges today. Reverend Jacobs. And Carol Ann Morano. And Jonathan Drejos. Carol Ann and Jonathan are part of many theater events in the area, primarily Shakespeare in the Pines, which many people are familiar with here. They are out of UNC Pembroke and the Uprising Theater Company and are wonderful. I could just keep listing director, actor, choreography, everything, and thank you very much for being here today. Okay, so without further ado, on with the show.
Hi, my name is Emily Johnson. I will first be doing Sonnet 66, and then I will follow it up from a monologue by Troilus and Cressida, and I will be reading as Cressida. Thank you. Tired with all these, for restful death I cry, as to behold desert beggar born, needy nothing, trimmed in jollity, in purest faith unhappily forsworn, in gilded honor shamefully misplaced, and strength by limping sway disabled, and maiden virtue rudely strumpeted, and art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly doctor-like controlling skill, and simple truth miscalled simplicity, and captive good attending captive ill. Tired with all these, from these would I be gone. Save that. To die, I leave my love alone. Thank you. And now I will be doing my monologue. Hard to see one, but I was one, my lord. From the first glance that Pardon me. If I confess much, you will play the tyrant. I love you now, but till now, not so much, but I might master it. In faith I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children grown too headstrong for their mothers. See, we fools. Why have I blabbed? Who shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? And though I loved you well, I wooed you not. And yet, good faith, I wished myself a man. Or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet, bid me hold my tongue, for in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. See, your silence, cunning and dumbness, from my weakness shows my very soul of counsel. Stop my mouth. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nolan Mcgrath, and today I'll be performing Sonnet number 6, followed by Bottom's Monologue from Midsummer's Night's Dream. And let not winter's rugged hand deface. In thee thy summers, ere thou be distilled, make sweet some vial, treasure thou some place, with beauty's treasure, ere it be self-killed. That use is not forbidden usury, which happies those who pay the willing loan. That's for thyself to breed another thee. Or 10 times happier be it 10 for one. 10 times thyself were happier than thou art, if 10 of thine 10 times refuged thee. And what could death do if thou shouldst depart, leaving the living in posterity? Do not be self-willed, for thou art much too fair to be death's conquest and make worms thine heir. But stay, oh spite, but mark, poor knight! Oh, what dreadful dole is here! Eyes, do you see? How can it be, oh dainty duck? Oh dear, thy mental good, what stained with blood? Approach, ye furies fell! Oh fates, come, cut thread and thrum, quail, crush, conclude and quell. Oh, wherefore nature didst thou lion's frame, since lion vile hath you deflowered, my dear? Which is, no, which was the fairest dame that lived, that loved, that liked, that looked with cheer? Come, tears confound, out sword and wound the pap of Pyramus. I that left pap, where heart doth hop, thus die I. Oh. Thus, thus, Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brianna Bosick. I will be presenting the monologue The Two Noble Kinsmen as the jailer's daughter, followed by sonnet number 29. Why should I love this gentleman? 'Tis odds he never will affect me. I am base. My father, the mean keeper of his prison, he a prince. To marry him is hopeless, and to be his whore is witless, out of hunt. What pushes are we wenches driven to when 15 once has found us? First, I saw him. I, seeing, thought he was a goodly man. He had as much to please a woman in him if he pleased to bestow it so as ever those eyes yet looked on. Next, I pitied him. And so would any young one show my conscience that ever dreamed or vowed their mate hand to a young, handsome man. Then, I loved him, extremely loved him, infinitely loved him. What should I do to make him know I love him? For I would fain enjoy him. Say I ventured off to set him free? What says the law then? Thus much for law or kindred, I will do it. And by this night or tomorrow, he shall love me. When in disgrace with fortune in men's eyes, I, all alone, beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heavens with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one, more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet, in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I sworn to change my state with kings. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kara Sparks, and I'll be performing as Jacques from As You Like It, followed by sonnet number 19. A fool, I met a fool in the forest, who laid him down and basked in the sun, and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he, call me not a fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, It is 10 o'clock, thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after an hour more 'twill be 11. And so from hour to hour we ripe, and from hour to hour we rot, and thereby hangs a tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer, that fools should be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. Oh, noble fool, a worthy fool, motley's the only wear. Devouring time, blunt thou the lion's claws, and make the earth devour her own sweet brood. Pluck the keen teeth from the fierce tiger's jaws, and burn the long-lived phoenix in her blood. Make glad and sorry seasons as thou fleetst, and do whatever thou wilt, swift-footed time, to all the wide world and her fading sweets. But I forbid thee one most heinous crime. Oh, carve not with thy hours upon my love's fair brow, nor draw no lines there with thine antique pen. For in his course untainted do allow for beauty's patterns in succeeding men. And yet, do thy worst, old time, despite thy wrong, for in my verse, my love shall ever live young. Thank you. Once again, I'm Kara Sparks.
My name is Only Hikus. Today I'll be presenting Sonnet 29, followed by Lady Macbeth's monologue from Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth. when in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet, in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply, I think on thee. And then my state, like to the lark at break of day, risen from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I'd scorn to change my state with kings. Hoarse is the raven that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, empall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great glass, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hail hereafter. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ava Sonia, and I'll be playing the role of Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, and perform Sonnet 105. How if, when I'm laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo comes to redeem me? There is a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, for which as many 100 years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed? Or but bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth, lie festering in a shroud, where, as they say, at some hours of the night spirits resort. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints and pluck the mangled Tybalt from this shroud? And in this rage, with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains. Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo, who did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo! Romeo? Romeo. Here's drink. I drink to thee. Let not my love be called idolatry, nor my beloved as an idle show, since all alike my songs and praises be to one of one. still such and forever so. Kind is my love today, tomorrow kind, still constant in a wondrous excellence. Therefore, my verse to constancy confined, one thing expressing, leaving out difference. Fair, kind, and true is all my argument. Fair, kind, and true, varying to other words, and in this change is my invention spent. 3 themes in one, which wondrous scope affords. Fair, kind, and true have often lived alone, which 3 till now never kept seat in one. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jillian Mann. I will be performing Sonnet 116, followed by Queen Margaret's Monologue from Henry VI, Part 3. Let me not, to the marriage of true minds, admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. I'm going to start over. Let me not, to the marriage of true minds, admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. What? Hath thy fiery heart so parched thine entrails that not a tear can fall for Rutland's death? Why art thou patient, man? Thou shouldst be mad, and I, to make thee mad, do mock thee thus. Thou wouldst be feed, I see, to make me sport. York cannot speak unless he wear a crown for York. And, lords, bow low to him. Hold you his hands whilst I do set it on. Marry, sir, now looks he like a king. Yes, this is he that took King Henry's chair, and this is he was his adopted heir. But how is it that great Plantagenet is crowned so soon and broke his holy oath? As I bethink me, you should not be king till our King Henry had shook hands with death. And will you pale your head in King Henry's glory and rob his temples of the diadem now in his life against your holy oath? Oh! 'Tis a fault too unpardonable. Off with the crown, and with the crown, his head. And whilst we breathe, take time to do him dead. Thank you. Again, my name is Jillian Mann.
My name is Hazel Thompson, and I will be performing Sonnet 17, followed by Phoebe's monologue from As You Like It. Who would believe my verse in times to come if it were filled with your most high deserts? Though yet heaven knows it is but as a tomb, which hides your life and shows not half your parts. If I could write the beauty of your eyes, and in fresh numbers number all your graces, the age to come would say this poet lies. Such heavenly touches ne'er touched earthly faces. So if my papers, yellowed with their age, be scorned like old men of less truth than tongue, and your true rights be termed a poet's rage and stretched meter of an antique song. But if some child of yours, alive at that time, you should live twice, in it and in my rhyme. I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. And thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eye. 'Tis pretty, sure, and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things, who shut their coward gates on enemies, should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now, I do frown on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now, counterfeit to swoon? Why? Now fall down. Or, if thou canst not, oh, for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now, show the wound mine eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. Lean upon a rush, and the cicatrice incapable in pressure thy balm some moment keeps. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not, nor I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt. Thank you. Once again, I'm Hazel Thompson.
Hello, my name is Savannah Campbell, and I will be performing the role of Tamora from Titus Andronicus. Stay, Roman brethren! Gracious conqueror, victorious Titus, rule the tears I shed. A mother's tears in passion for her son. And if thy sons were ever dear to thee, oh, think my son to be as dear to me. Sufficeth not that we are brought to Rome to beautify thy triumphs in return, captive to thee and to thy Roman yoke, but must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Oh, if to fight for king and commonweal were piety in thine, it is in these! Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of the gods? Draw near them then in being merciful. Sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son. Oh, that you were yourself but love. You are no longer yours than you yourself here live. Against this coming end, you should prepare, and your sweet semblance to some other give. So should that beauty which you hold in lease find no determination, then you were yourself again after yourself's decease, when your sweet issue, your sweet form should bear. Who lets so fair a house fall to decay? Which husbandry and honor might uphold against the stormy gusts of winter's day and barren rage of death's eternal cold? Oh, none but unthrifts, dear my love. You know, you had a father. Let your son say so. Thank you.
And I'll be starting off with Sonnet 138, followed by Constance's monologue from King John. When my love says she is made of truth, I do believe her. Though I know she lies. That she thinks me some untutored youth, unlearned in the world's false subtleties. Thus, vainly thinking she thinks me young. Though she knows my days are past the best, simply I credit her false-speaking tongue. On both sides thus is simple truth suppressed. Wherefore says she not she is unjust, and wherefore not I say that I am old. Love's best habit is in seeming trust. And age in love loves not to have years hold. Therefore, I lie to her, and she to me. And in both our faults by lies, we flattered be. I am not mad. This hair I tear is mine. I tore them from their bonds and cried aloud, oh, that these hands could so redeem my son, as they have given these hairs their liberty. Now I envy their liberty, and will again commit them to their bonds because my child is a prisoner. Father Cardinal, I have heard you say that we shall see and know our friends in heaven. If that be true, I shall see my son again. I mean, ever since the birth of Cain, the first male child to him that did but yesterday suspire, there was not such a gracious creature born. But now, canker sorrow eat my bud. Chase the native beauty upon his cheek, and he will look as hollow as a ghost, as dim and as meager as an ague's fit. When I shall see him in the court of heaven, I shall not know him. Therefore never must I behold my pretty Arthur more. Thank you once again, I'm Bella Fernandez.
My name is Leah Jones, and I will be performing sonnet number 21, followed by Isabella's monologue from Act 3, Scene 1 of the show, Measure for Measure. So is it not with me, as with that muse, stirred by a painted beauty to his verse, and every fair with his fair doth rehearse, making a couplement of proud compare, with sun and moon, with earth and sea's rich gems, and April's firstborn flowers, and all things rare that heaven's air in this huge rondor hems. Oh, let me, true in love, but truly right, and then believe me, my love is as fair as any mother's child, though not so bright as those gold candles fixed in heaven's air. Let them say more that liketh hearsay well. I will not praise that purpose not to sell. Oh, you beast! Oh, faithless coward! Oh, dishonest wretch! Wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? Is it not a kind of incest to take life from thine own sister's shame? What should I think? Heaven shield my mother, played my father fair, for such a warped slip of wilderness ne'er issued from his blood. Take my defiance, die, perish, might but my bending down reprieve thee from thy fate, it should proceed. I'll pray 1,000 words for thy death, no word to save thee. Oh, fie, fie, fie. Thy sins, not accidental, but a trade. Mercy to thee would prove itself a bawd. 'Tis best thou diest quickly. Thank you.
Good luck, judges. Fantastic performances, entertaining, lovely, different, every single one of them, and I think everybody deserves a round of applause. We'll have a brief intermission as the judges deliberate. As I said, good luck. I'll just take a quick moment of your time just to clarify a couple of things. A couple people asked about the performance moving forward, and I probably rushed through it a little bit. So as I said, the semifinalists will be a virtual competition, unfortunately. So whoever wins here today, it will be done as a virtual competition against other branches, I believe towards the end of March. So that will be 55, anywhere between 55 and 60 branches across the country will compete virtually. In the past and prior to COVID, those students did all get the opportunity to go to New York City and perform at the Lincoln Center. So that opportunity has unfortunately been lost right now. Hopefully it will return. We'll just keep bugging the ESU to say, yes, they need to be able to go because it's a wonderful experience to see New York, tour New York, see NYU, Tisch School of the Arts, and it's a wonderful opportunity. So hopefully that will return one day. However, the chosen from that virtual competition will be 10 finalists. And those finalists, the plan is now with the state of COVID and things improving, New York is saying they will be able to go. They will have the experience of a lifetime touring New York, can have a parent go with them. And it will be a great experience. So more to come. It's a little bit of a moving target right now, as everybody knows, but it certainly looks like every step in the process right now is looking very good. And I think the performances today are any indication of how talented these kids are. it's just wonderful to be able to see not just them, but the ones all over the country performing this. And the talent that's out there is just unbelievable. For those of you who have family members who could not make it today, or perhaps want to see this performance again, it has been recorded today. Steve McKenzie here of the Village Chapel has recorded it, and a YouTube link will be sent out to the teachers as well as the English-speaking union and the Village Chapel members so that they can see the performance afterwards as a live event afterwards. Also, we have Ted Fitzgerald here today of the pilot, and there will be an article forthcoming of the event. So, does anybody have any questions about the event or anything, about anybody have any questions about the English-speaking union or our local branch or what we do? Okay. We also support things like the middle school debates, which have been put on hold because of COVID, sadly. It's like 100 to 150 students from all local middle schools compete in that. And we support a Student of the Month for our local meetings that come out of all of the schools. We support scholarships for teachers to go abroad, study at the Globe Theater, study at, is it RADA where they go to? Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, I believe, in London. And many scholarship opportunities. So not only do we support our local schools and local education on a bigger scale as well. So does anybody have any questions or anything? I knew the judges were gonna have to be back there a long time, so. So enjoy. We'll put on some music again and enjoy mingling, and then when we find out, we find out. Okay, so once again, judges, thank you very much. As confirmed, it was a difficult task. The performances were wonderful, the monologues were wonderfully chosen, and everybody just did a great job. So moving on, we'll have 3 places. We'll have a 3rd place, a 2nd place, and then a winner. The 3rd place finisher for this year's Shakespeare competition is Leah Jones. Second place this year for 2022 Shakespeare competition is Jillian Mann. And our first place finisher this year is Kara Sparks. Okay, and the trophy for Mr. Adam Thaw. Well done. I will get out of the way so that Ted can take some pictures.
That's nice. Oh, yeah, thanks, Adam. That's awesome. Congratulations, everybody.